Hello,
Natasha.
I'm Natasha, and we're here with Quasi Matt, my co-host today.
Exactly.
Really exciting. Famous on the internet.
So
Famously
true.
unemployed.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for correcting that this time.
That's a deep cut for those.
For the real fans.
For the real fans.
The real boys.
Exactly. They know. But I do want people to know that you are smart and thoughtful.
Well, they can decide for themselves.
I guess they can. I guess they can. I ran into you on the street this weekend.
So true.
You were going to eat with some friends, other friends that I really like.
I mean, you knew the whole squad.
I knew the whole squad, and I was going to go see Ted. So actually, we might need to diversify a little bit.
Yeah. Why are you never seeing me with people that you don't know? Why am I? Yeah.
Exactly. It's honestly getting a little weird. Okay, we have a really fun show today. Some great guests, and we have some really exceptional partners who are part of making this live stream possible.
Good.
Gonna shout them out: Octant, Anchorage Digital, and we have two new girlies joining the squad for Q2, Vercel and Polygon. Really exciting stuff. Love to see it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Vercel. We're also having Ali Pope on the live today, who is also famous on the internet and works at Vercel. So I'm going to tell you about Vercel. And I got to tell you, have been given copious notes about how to read an ad on this show, and we're gonna give it a go. Okay, this episode is brought to you by Vercel. You've heard of vibe coding by now. The thing nobody talks about is that most of its products produce demos that never actually ship. Vercel built VO to fix that. Vercel is the agentic infrastructure company. It's designed to give you all the tools you need to build, run, and scale purpose-built agents for your business. Vercel is a one-stop shop for everything you need to ship in the agentic era. Tools, frameworks, computers. It's how modern software should run in the AI era. They just launched an open agent skills ecosystem, which basically lets you teach your AI how your team actually works. One install and your agent has your full context. Go check out vo.app. Genuinely very excited to have Vercel on the ticket here. Very cool stuff they're doing. We're going to hear more about it when Ali comes on, but you're a fan.
I am a fan. Yeah.
Huge fan of Vercel.
Yeah. Vercel is already a part of my agentic vibe coding workflow.
Okay.
But what I love about it is that I low-key, I'm not exactly sure what it's doing, which is great because it means it's been appropriately abstracted away from me because I don't care.
Totally.
And it sounds like this is taking it even farther away so that I can worry even less about what it's actually doing. And I can just think about what I'm trying to do. Totally. And then it just kind of does stuff in the background. That's my interpretation of that.
Okay, great. I love that. It's just doing a good job. You don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you were thinking about it, it'd probably because it was not working.
That's so mentally taxing for me. Yeah, exactly. I need to be focused on whatever slop website I'm trying to make.
For sure. Oh, and we're going to talk about slop later today as well. I can't honestly.
Always on the agenda.
Okay. I think the first thing that we should talk about here that is your topic.
Yes.
Is tech merch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so how do you feel about tech merch just generally? I need to decide how I'm going to approach this.
Okay. First, Kate, there is a tweet. So I'm giving you yep. Oh, she's got it. Okay. You had a tweet that did some numbers, loose numbers.
Oh yeah. I was saying stuff.
You were saying stuff.
Yeah.
People were responding. It's on the screen here for the listener who's not watching. It's a quote tweet of merchandise from Polymarket and ChatGPT.
It's OpenAI, ChatGPT merch, and then Polymarket merch.
Okay. This is my feeling on tech merch. Oh, it's a photo of their merch. Some t-shirts, some hats. One is ChatGPT basketball.
Yeah, I think what's notable about the pictures of the merch is okay, so it's the OpenAI or the ChatGPT basketball, which everyone was kind of okay, what's going on here?
Why?
What's the overlap? Mm-hmm. And then overall, the vibe is the merch is very simple. It's not Rick Owens. Mm-hmm. It's not high fashion, it's just like, okay, here's a t-shirt with a logo. And my sort of take on the situation is like, exactly. Like that's what it should be. We don't need it to be something like really extra and crazy. And I think like a lot of the people who are commenting on this merch and being like, they have so much money, like why don't they make something cooler and better, are just kind of like misunderstanding how merch actually functions in technology. Because like tech companies make tech.
Right.
Like some people forget that. Some people really forget that. Like you have to say it. They're not focused necessarily on making merch. The merch is like a symbol of association or appreciation. And so it doesn't necessarily need to like have a whole lot of aesthetic merit.
It's like what the employees are getting on the offsite.
Yeah, exactly. And so like people were saying, oh, this is horrible. Like, how are you treating your brand ambassadors in such a way? Because like, you know, I would assume they have a PR list.
GPT brand ambassador.
No, but this is exactly like sort of how I think about it is like people are importing this logic that applies well to like influencer, like lifestyle brands where it's like, okay, I am Poppy and no one cares about me because I'm a prebiotic soda or whatever. And it doesn't matter. There could be a million of them. And I really have like no moat. And so my only thing is that I'm going to pay people to talk about me. And so these influencers now have to tarnish their brand by shilling something that really doesn't fit what they're doing. And so it makes sense. You have to send them good PR to keep them engaged and make them feel good. But like Polymarket and OpenAI are not like that because techfluencers like us that talk about technology literally benefit from discussing these things. We don't need to, we're talking about OpenAI and Polymarket. They don't need to be paying us with merch to do this. Like, so we don't need.
I'm going to let you finish.
So the dynamic is not the same. People are going to talk about OpenAI. People are going to talk about Polymarket no matter what. You don't have to like pay them with merch to do that. The merch only exists as a clout symbol so that not me, I'm not being sent the merch, so that someone can be like, hey guys, like OpenAI knows who I am and like wants to be affiliated with me. Here's a box of merch. That's what it's for.
So let's say you got the box of OpenAI merch.
Yes.
You got the basketball, you got the t-shirt. Are you going to show up on the show with wearing that?
Well, okay. Perfect answer to your question is I knew we were going to talk about this, so I wore some merch. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is for Dragonfly. And here's why I'm wearing
Dragonfly Ventures?
Yes.
Okay. And crazy work.
Like,
okay. Let's
aesthetically, it is literally 3 text characters on a shirt. They're not doing anything special.
What's the quality?
I would say the quality is quite good, although like I kind of feel like all my clothes are low quality, so I don't really know. But I'm wearing it because I know people who work at Dragonfly. They're really great. I think they're fun. All of my friends who have investments from Dragonfly speak very positively about them. And I'm happy to associate myself with them. In a way, I think I'm clout farming them by wearing the merch. I'm like happy to wear it because I'm like, Dragonfly is really cool and I want to be associated with them. That's how tech merch actually works. Like I don't need it to be like drippy.
You don't need it to be drippy.
Yeah, because it's giving me clout.
I see. The clout is what is the drip.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel, how do I feel about this? So I wrote a newsletter. I sent this to you about, like modern defense company merch hitting the timeline with like, thoughty influencers, girls.
Right.
I respect the game. Like I say that sentence with respect where it should be given to these women. Do your thing, whatever you want to do, go off. Very personally, me as an individual, I'm not going to be wearing like an Andril baby tee around Williamsburg. That's just me. That's my choice.
That's up to you.
That's totally my choice and my prerogative. But what I do, it is clout farming. It's like a whistle blow to like a certain type of, no, not a whistle, a dog whistle to a certain type of person, individual. It's saying, these are my values. These are the things that I care about. I think that there are very, very few tech companies where I'm going to say, these are my values. This is what I care about, and sport their merch. Having said that, anything that Boys Club has ever put out into the world as merchandise, I feel is representative of a lifestyle. It's saying something.
Yeah.
But we're not a software company.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just going to say is like, that's your whole thing is like, you're a media brand that is, you're supposed to be like tasteful and know things and things of that nature. So it makes sense for you to have like some tasteful garb.
What do you think about the Claude hats that were, what did they say? Do you remember the Claude hats?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, what did they say?
It was part of the pop-up. Oh, it said thinking.
Oh, I'm obsessed. Oh, no, I love, like, I have this as thinker, not thinking. But
okay.
I just love like the concept of thinking. Like, I love thinking about stuff. Yeah. Oh, is it not even branded?
No, but that's kind of cool to me.
Has the logo or something?
Okay, because I do think like it's an if you know, you know, like the dragonfly. That's like an if you know, you know.
Right. Like people are just gonna look at this and think like, okay,
symbol.
Yeah,
something.
Unless you're like really, really like in the trenches of crypto investment,
totally.
Then you're gonna be like, wow, I need to talk to that guy. He knows everything.
Exceptionally niche.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think. One other note that I will say here is, let's say you are a software company out there and you're watching and you think, man, I don't have a merch strategy whatsoever. I don't have a swag strategy. You could send me an email at partnerships@boysclub.vip and we will gladly do that for you for a fee. So I just don't want to leave that out of the conversation.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I think like companies need to think really critically about whether it's appropriate for them to make merch. I would say start making merch once people ask for it, because I think like I don't know, I'm really narcissistic. Like I understand the impulse to just make merch like about yourself or your company or something, but it's like, do people really want it? And then once you figure out that that's the case, then yeah, like what was the email again?
Partnerships@boysclub.vip. It's on the ticker. It's on the banner right now. Just like shoot a little email through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a better bet than trying to do it yourself.
Now live, just FYI. Okay, really great stuff. Speaking of great partners, Octant is a partner whom we love. And Quasi Matt is a fan and going to read the ad.
I'm really excited for this. Okay, I don't think I've ever read an ad before, so this is like one of my first chill moments. Okay. No, that's not true. Baby's first ad read. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, go. Line.
Our supporting sponsor, Octant, is well known in Ethereum circles for its tireless contribution to the Ethereum ecosystem through research and millions of dollars in grants and public goods funding. 2026 is their product era. Octant is now laser focused on vaults, which enables orgs and communities to build sustainable funding systems through these yield-generating products. Direct your yield towards your own org's runway or funnel it to broader ecosystem efforts. It's all fair game with Octant's new institutional-grade vaults. Earn, allocate, and grow Ethereum with DeFi. The team has been working on some very exciting projects around their Octant V2 launch. Be sure to check out @OctantApp, that's a social media handle, to keep up with all their latest announcements. And don't forget to migrate to V2 to keep earning ETH rewards on their app.
Okay, hired. You're so much better at it than I am.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to do the other ones as well.
Okay, great. Great stuff. We love Octant. They are actually very cool. They're at ETHCC this week in the south of France. And so if you are there doing things,
hit them up.
Go talk to them. Okay, I'm going to release you for a bit.
Okay.
And we are going to have our first guest come on up, Sam Bronner in the house. There's some music playing, so we don't have to be stressed about anything. The audience is fine. They're cared for.
Exactly the same thing.
Hi. Good. Okay, you can make yourself comfortable here.
Yeah.
The mic,
right?
we're gonna Kate's gonna come figure it out.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Guys, I cannot believe I still have this cough. It's like genuinely.
You sound fine, by the way.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's encouraging.
Awesome. Cool. Test.
How we sounding? Good? Okay.
Love
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Sam Bronner here with us, founder of the Better Money Company, previously at A16Z Crypto. Before that, Microsoft, MIT guy, S tier resume. But I do think the best thing about you is we are often at the same events, places. And like, if I see you in the room, I'm like, thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. I feel the same way, by the way. That's
okay,
totally
great.
mutual. I can like chill out for 5 minutes of conversation, talk about real stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent.
I can just like go nonverbal if needed. I'm just like, hey, what's up? So really appreciate that about you. But you came out of Stealth yesterday.
Yeah.
Very hot get for us. Very excited to have you here. The Better Money Company, super impressive line of partners that you've launched with, raised 10 million from a bunch of world-class investors. What are you working on? Tell us about it.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm happy to be here for my first podcast, like among friends like that. It's really a great thing.
Great.
So we're building a stablecoin clearinghouse. Can I give some like editorial on my resume besides what you shared?
Oh, please. Right, yes, go for it.
So I was an engineer for a long time and first got into crypto in like 2016.
Okay.
And as I built more projects with traditional tech, I was just sort of frustrated and confused by how payments worked. And I think a lot of engineers have that feeling. I ended up working at the Boston Fed on their stablecoin initiative.
Oh, wow.
And then I worked at A16Z where I met with hundreds of stablecoin companies, sort of like built a thesis around it. The realization is that even though stablecoins work kind of how an engineer wants them to work, they don't yet work how a payments company would want them to work. And so we're building a stablecoin clearinghouse. And the goal of our product, this is our first step into what we think is the step into the next generation of money, is something that allows you to send one stablecoin and have the other person receive one stablecoin. And that is surprisingly hard today.
Okay.
We enable that.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. So stablecoin clearinghouse. Can you just first start with what is a clearinghouse?
A clearinghouse connects people.
Okay.
We have clearinghouses for banks. We have them for cards. The first clearinghouse was a pub called Five Bells in London, where people from various London banks would meet up and they would give each other cash. The goal of it originally is that you don't have to go have a connection with each bank. You've got one place you can go to be connected everywhere and know that you're going to get a fair deal across all the banks that you're dealing with.
Okay.
And so we're building the stablecoin clearinghouse so that you can come to one place and send a payment that touches any Genius Bill compliant stablecoin and get the right amount of money on the other side.
Okay.
So that's specifically what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so part of, I guess maybe the challenge or the thing that you're building is that we have all of these stable coins on all of these different chains and all of these people, all these various parties that are producing them and running them. And you're kind of like, what was the role of a clearinghouse for all of these banks? You're kind of being for all of these different stable coins. That's an accurate read?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. And something that I've heard you talk a lot about is that stablecoins today do not operate like traditional money or fiat money or whatever you want to call it. Can you get into that a little bit?
100%. So you maybe bank at Wells Fargo, you bank at Bank of America. When you send money to a friend, they get exactly the amount of money you wanted to send. And that happens because you're not selling Wells Fargo dollars to buy Bank of America dollars. Obviously, like we all know that's not what we're doing. We're just sending the money, we transfer it. I can tell you behind the scenes, there's a few ways that transfer could happen. You could use ACH, maybe it moves to the Fed window, maybe, there's a few things that could happen here, but you're not selling one bank's dollars to buy another's. With stablecoins, you are.
Okay.
You're selling USDC to buy USDG.
Okay.
That isn't how payment should work. You should be able to redeem USDC and receive USDG on the other side in a way where it's one-to-one. If you send $1,000, the person should get $1,000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's so funny because you're saying something that sounds so simple.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, totally. But nobody's done it yet.
Nobody's done it.
So
crypto,
why?
Everyone accepts like trading is the solution to everything.
Yes.
But it's really not. Like a lot of crypto grew up around trading. I think that's totally fair. It's fun. I'm so glad that more of finance is moving on chain, including a lot of trading infrastructure. But for payments, we need much more fixed guarantees. We need to know how much it's going to cost. We need to know how much is going to be there when the person receives it.
Yeah.
And I think people just forgot that because we have all these trading-based solutions, and that's okay. Let's build it now, especially now that the Genius Bill is out there, and we have payments companies and just traditional enterprises that are adopting stablecoins in a big way. They need to know they have these familiar guarantees, and we're here to provide them.
Totally. So I want to actually talk about the Genius Bill a little bit and the Genius Act, because I feel like being in this industry for the past few years, that was like just such a clear turning point from a regulatory perspective. And so I'm could you just explain a little bit about what that was and like what it's, I mean, you don't have to like get too deep into it, but just like super high level and like what it has enabled for a lot of businesses now.
Yeah. My team makes fun of me because I always tell people to like, just read it. It's 7 pages. Yeah. It's like not actually that hard, or ask ChatGPT to read it for you, whatever you want to do. But the truth is that it just says these things are okay.
Okay.
Like you can use stablecoins, and we're going to give you not the full rules and regulations, but the general outline of how the rules and regulations will be made. Those are forthcoming. They're actually being talked about right now. But the basic outline is we're going to back these stablecoins, which are a bearer asset, with the safest form of collateral we know of, so that they're easy to regulate and safe to use.
Okay.
That's the Genius Bill. What it started, though, is a bunch of enterprises saying, oh, I would love to have more control of my payment stack. Right now, I'm using a bank and a payments processor, and I've got like 30 intermediaries before I can work with my customer to have them pay for service. And it's so expensive, so complicated. We've got huge teams around it. Why do we have huge teams about it? This should be easy.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of this starting gun where people were like, I understand how I can do this in a safe way. I need to use stablecoins. Then they realized stablecoins don't actually move the way they expect payments to work.
Yeah.
And that's where we've come in to sort of help them with that transition to using stablecoins for payments.
Okay. Makes a ton of sense. Why should your average person, business owner, or me as a consumer care about what you're doing or stablecoins generally?
Look, I think if you're going about your life and this doesn't come up every day, that's okay. What I want to do is make sure that when you go buy a coffee, that coffee is just a little bit cheaper, or your groceries are a little bit cheaper, because you're not giving up 2-3% to pay for a credit card that you don't need in that transaction. I love this fact, like the average grocery store is spending, they spend 2% of the income they get on credit card payments.
Wow.
That's what they give up.
Yeah.
The average grocery store's margin, their profit is only 2%.
Oh my gosh.
They could double their profitability
by
switching payment techniques.
Okay.
That's basically what I want. Like they should be able to hire more people, or maybe they buy nicer produce, or maybe they charge lower prices, whatever it is. That's the benefit of switching to a better payment rail.
Okay.
Just a little bit more to go around for everyone.
Okay. And the reason that 2 or 3% is happening across, I'm paying with my Amex and
sweet flex.
What?
That you have an Amex. I'm just sort of making fun of you.
Oh, I actually have a funny story about.
Okay, great. Yeah. I just didn't know I was here the baller.
It's an Amex Platinum.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And I got charged for it this year, and I was like, I'm not paying for this. And I called them, and I was like, hey, sorry, like I want out. And they were like, because I think it's like $700 or something. It's a lot of money. Yeah. And I was like, this is just like not working for me. And they, they like give me the roll around. I'm like getting transferred to all these different people. Yeah. So by the time I'm like actually with the person that I want to cancel, I'm like somewhat frustrated at this point. Yeah. And I was like, he starts going through all the ways that I've saved that $700 in the last year. And I was like, look, the only thing I really care about is the lounge access. You've changed the rules. Like, just please release me.
It doesn't feel good.
And he was like, okay, what if we just gave you $500? And I was like, great, I'll keep it for another year. So that, if you just so people know. Anyway, so that's how I still have it. And anyway, I'm paying with my Amex Platinum at the grocery store.
Great.
What is happening? Where's that 3% going? Is it all to American Express or like what's going on?
This is a deep topic.
Okay.
And it's actually worth pointing out that a credit card is a bundled product. You're getting a little loan because you pay the credit card bill at the end of the month.
Okay.
So stablecoins don't replace that.
Okay.
And also you get, I guess, lounge access, which is your most important feature. Like stablecoins don't natively come with lounge access yet. Someone's gonna have to build that. But you don't need all of those. There's a few other features they have around fraud protection, identity, and so forth. You don't need those features when you're buying something at a grocery store.
Right.
It's a little weird that we've bundled this like loyalty loan product into me buying a couple apples and peanut butter. Like that just doesn't really need to happen like that. And there's a ton of transactions where if we unbundled the payment stack and gave people a simpler way to pay, they would. And I think we'd all be happy with that solution.
Cool.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So something that I saw that came across my desk this week, MasterCard acquired BVNK, a stablecoin settlement company for.
I think that's a definitive agreement, and they haven't fully finished the acquisition, but it's still really exciting news for the industry.
Good note.
Yeah.
Okay. Good note. $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
Double its last valuation.
Yeah.
Alongside that news, it's looking like Visa is rumored to be shopping for a similar acquisition.
Yeah.
Are these your competitors? Like what? How do you think about them?
No. We've actually talked to a lot of the teams that are in that space, and they're interested in using our clearinghouse to make their product better.
Okay.
Because they want to know that when they do this broader orchestration, they give you wallets, they have relationships with on and off ramps. They still need somewhere to go to get one-to-one fungibility between stablecoins.
Yeah.
To make sure that when you send 1,000, you get 1,000.
Okay.
Or you send 1 million, you get 1 million, which is harder than 1,000. And so we can do these things, and they are interested in working with us on it.
Okay.
But what it is it shows that these sophisticated, mature public payments companies have realized that even though they're great at some things, they need help from the outside to build what is ultimately a new technology and get started with it.
Yeah.
Because it does matter to them, and they need that jumpstart to get moving now.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's the main sign that we're
okay. So you're like, love it.
This is we
love to see it.
And we just love to see that, like, Genius Bill happened, stablecoin adoption is already here. It's like not even a question.
Totally. Yeah.
And the only question for a lot of the enterprises we talk to is, how do we do it faster?
Yeah.
How do we get where we need to go and make our business better today? And so I'm thrilled.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, 2 more questions here before we will release you.
Yeah.
So
I'm not held captive.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Does a clearinghouse matter more or less in a world where we have AI agents making potentially thousands of transactions for us a day? Like, how does that affect your business?
Yeah. So we talked about the grocery store scenario.
Yeah.
I think maybe even more interesting is just to say it's hard to build a payments product today. There's really only one way to do it. Like you check out on a website, and like that's what payments is to most people.
Yeah.
And you've got the ACH and a few other things. I like to think about the possibilities of things that we can make if we had a way easier to program type of payments. And that's why I see agents gravitating towards stablecoins.
Okay.
It's just like easier to get up and going and have an entrepreneur make something cool and new.
Okay.
So a clearinghouse makes it easier for anyone to do stablecoin payments. I think people trying new and interesting things are going to gravitate towards using a clearinghouse to get that done.
Okay.
As opposed to like having to figure out how a credit card payment works and just grappling with that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Are you fucking around with AI agents?
Yeah, so much. I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to do a ton of AI stuff when I was at Microsoft.
Okay.
And but anyway, I do that quite a bit.
For fun? Like, are you making little bots for your dentist appointments or something? Or?
I do that kind of stuff. My team, we use a decent amount of AI, of course. And I think that there's a lot of interesting, actually last March, almost a year ago to the day, we built sort of an X402-ish thing over a weekend. I just like messing around with it. I like that stuff. Yeah.
Fun. Okay, last question here. You're on the other team now. You're founder instead of investor. How does it feel to be founder mode? Like, any thoughts, feelings?
Any thoughts? Being an investor is an amazing thing, and working at A16Z was fantastic. You get to meet so many people. The team is absolutely, undoubtedly world class. But I like having my hands on the keyboard. I like, I like writing software. I like building and growing a team with a long-term goal, and it's been incredibly fun. I'd say most importantly, actually, is we've all these early partners who took a bet on us and said, like, let's build together. And I love building that momentum. And I think we've got a lot more to do, and we can make a big impact.
Yeah. Nice. This is exciting. So happy to have you on. So excited for you. Genuinely a fan. And can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Okay.
Cool.
See you later.
See ya.
Okay, guys. Quasi, do you want to come on back up? Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. Great stuff. Make it easy. Make it easy. Okay, do you want to settle back in here?
Yeah.
Okay. we can unmute. Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Oh,
no problem.
We're still here.
We're here. Okay. I think my first topic for you that I'm going to share with you, Michael Saylor AI ad.
Yes.
Are you familiar?
I mean, I had to watch it because I wasn't caught up. So I took a look.
I gave you homework.
Yeah. I did my homework. I watched the video and I'm ready to discuss.
Okay, great. So context, Michael Saylor, he's the founder of MicroStrategy. He is famously a Bitcoin advocate, Bitcoin maxi. MicroStrategy owns a large portion of the total supply of Bitcoin. I think over 3.5% of the total supply. He is known in my book for two things. One, his Tuscan home that harkens back to it's up. Okay. So this is what his home in his Zoom calls looks like. And it brings me back to an era of my life that was like kitchens, Tuscan style kitchens.
Yes.
I think we also have a reference photo as well coming up here in a second, where it's like, I don't know why we've decided that we're going to do like a faux, like a campy faux Italian inspired kitchen in this home in what is probably Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
I mean, I like Tuscan, like I'm sure is the appropriate term, like obviously is the appropriate term to me. That's Olive Garden. Like when I see that, I'm like, I am at Olive Garden.
Olive Garden aesthetic.
I do love it. It's kind of like maximalist, which I appreciate. I'm like, okay, you committed to something and you did it. Like,
okay. Can you imagine if my kitchen looked like this in my apartment in Brooklyn?
I would love that. I would clap.
You would.
Yeah.
You would. Okay. So he's known for that in my mind. That's what, when I
most importantly,
Michael Saylor, I think that kitchen. And then second, talking his book in a big way. Like he's like egregious about talking his book, in my opinion, via his channels.
Right.
Okay. So that's him. This week, new addition to the bio just dropped. AI slot producer. He has gotten, I don't know, a login of some kind to some sort of AI tool to produce images and videos. And he's hitting his credits like big time. So he released an AI slop commercial for what is ticker Stretch. And I believe we're going to play the video here so that people can really like sink into it.
You have to get it.
Are you on vacation here?
I live here. I'm retired. I just don't think I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life.
Wow, how did you make it?
I worked hard as an engineer to save money. Again. Then I put my savings into Stretch.
What is Stretch?
Stretch is a stock. Right now I get about 11% a year in dividends. Nice.
It's the Stretch, yeah, the Stretch. 11% monthly cash dividends, tax deferred.
Okay, so that is the video. For people who were just listening and not watching, it's what can only be described as AI slop, where it's a very beautiful woman in what looks to be some sort of Caribbean vacation.
Mm-hmm.
She is drinking like a Mai Tai of some kind and being interviewed about how she's there and retired at that age. She is then explaining that she was an engineer and she saved all her money. Her engineering was her with a robot stacking like stacking cups, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, well, I didn't even notice that. But I mean,
what are we doing here?
Engineers do lots of different things.
Apparently.
But I think what I love about this is that it's actually
white coat too. She's got a white coat on.
Oh, well,
yeah,
science.
Clearly.
Yeah.
She's a doctor.
Yeah. I think there's like two layers of slop, which I really like. Like leaning into the slop, I think is very honest because firstly, it's marketing slop. Like, oh, I want to sell you beer. Well, here's hot women with beer around them.
Yeah, Hooters.
It's that.
It's Hooters adjacent.
Yeah. And then you take that marketing slop idea and you further slopify it using the AI tool of your choice. And I just think that it's doubling down is kind of beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I would rather see that than see someone like trying to pass some like serious narrative. Like he's just doing like very basic psychological manipulation.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, so to explain what Stretch is and what is going on here, Stretch is one of Strategy's own preferred stocks. Basically, in this context, I've always known preferred stocks in like the startup context, which is like you're protected from downside in my understanding. But in this case with a public company, basically what it means is that it's a hybrid asset that is both part bond and part stock, and you get less upside generally, but more consistent and predictable income. And so Saylor is like, let's get a hot woman to talk her book and share that in buying Stretch, she is getting 11% a year in dividends paid out monthly. And she put her whole savings into it. And she's doing great. She's retired early from her engineering job with the white coat. And he is doing this to raise money from retail investors to presumably buy more Bitcoin. So a response on the timeline, pretty not great. Like people, I respect your take. People are saying this is like inappropriate thing to be doing. I was like, is this legal? I can't believe that you can do that.
I don't know. I guess like it seems like it probably isn't.
Right.
I didn't realize that it was sort of a testimonial style until you like framed it that way.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny to do a testimonial where the person who is supposed to be saying that it impacted them is like not a person. It's someone that you like vibe coded into existence. Like I think that kind of destroys the value proposition of a testimonial because a testimonial is supposed to come from a real person. But also I think like real testimonials often come from paid actors anyway.
Right.
So maybe I think like that's the beauty of AI Slap is that maybe it just reveals what was already wrong with the advertising in the first place. It's just a relocation of the problem.
Okay.
Not necessarily the creation of a new one.
I can respect that. There is something, I agree with you that there's something honest about it. I agree with you that it's just advertising in and of itself is always a lie. This is just like an additional, more obvious layer to that lie.
Yeah.
There's something to me that feels sort of like Bernie Madoff adjacent to all of it. And I know that like he's legitimate. Bernie Madoff was just like full outright fraud. And this is not that. But one note that I did see here was that 80% of Stretch is from retail investors. And I don't know, it's just funny to me because I look at this stuff and crypto gets like such a bad rap for a lot of behavior that it should get a bad rap. Like I'm not saying.
Yeah, but it's not behaviors that are specific to crypto.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
There's grifting everywhere for those with eyes to see.
Exactly. Open your eyes, take the blinders off, and we can see it anywhere. Are you going to be, is this a buy for you?
I would have to maybe do a little bit of research. I mean, based on what I just saw, I would say I'm compelled. I feel like there's a lot of innovation going on the like narrative construction front.
Yes.
And so I am kind of into that.
Yeah.
Probably would be more of like a short-term thing for me.
Okay. Yeah. In and out. I did read in my refreshing of Michael Saylor that MicroStrategies was like, there is a piece of the puzzle around the .com boom crash that he / MicroStrategies played a role in. I think I do a little bit more digging on that front, just as a recommendation as you're thinking about this.
Okay,
this ticker.
So you're saying to be cautious. Your financial advice to me is to be a little more cautious.
This is financial advice,
maybe.
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do need that advice very often. So
great. That can be in your query, your Claude query. Okay. Great stuff. Thanks for hearing from me on this. Okay, we are going to bring up our next guest here, Allie Pope. And Matt's going to stick around for this interview, which is exciting. There she is. Hi. Hello. So nice to see you IRL. So fun. Okay, you are on the shorter side, so we're going to do a little work here to get you comfortable because... How you doing?
I'm ready.
Is that too far? Do you want to give us a little test?
Test.
How we sounding? Okay. So excited to have you. Okay. Allie Pope, head of marketing programs and media at Vercel, leading Vercel's startup, developer, and creator-facing programs and their new media arm. You were previously at Variant. You are an iconic shit poster on X, which in good company here. Friend of the pod. This is not your first time here. at Boys Club. So happy to have you. Thanks
I
for
know,
coming.
it's full circle.
It's
I'm
full
so excited to be
circle.
here. Thanks for having me.
Also, you're back in New York.
I am.
We can talk about that. Okay, you're back in New York. How does that
It's not a
feel?
secret. It feels great.
Okay, coming from SF.
Yes.
What is
New
your-
York, then SF, back to New York?
What's your like SF read?
My SF read is it is definitely where AI is happening the most. I think
Yeah.
if you're someone that like is super serious and wants to build an AI and be around like the, you know, smartest people doing that at the bleeding edge, it's definitely a good place to be.
Okay.
It is a little dead.
Dead.
I might be canceled for saying that.
Dead.
Mm.
I think that's a
It
pretty.
needs to be said.
Yeah, it's you got to tell the truth sometimes.
No
I
one's
just,
talking
like-
about it.
The computers at the bar, a lot for me.
Oh my gosh! Wait, we will
Coding
get.
at the
We do
bar.
need to get into like actual the meat of who you are
But
and what
I
you're
love
doing.
SF. I love SF.
But the Whole Foods Market Street setup. Did you see this on Twitter? You definitely did.
No.
What? Oh my gosh! Pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know what this is either.
Oh my god. Okay, you guys.
Wait, I'm
Look-
like so
Look
in a
at this.
different part
This
of
is a
Twitter.
man at the Market Street Whole Foods in San Francisco. He has
Wait,
a.
we're not seeing.
We-
Oh, you're
can't
not
see
seeing it? No, it's right there.
Oh.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, you guys obviously
Oh,
don't have
yes.
eyes to see.
Oh, I did see this. this.
Okay.
Okay, it's a guy with a crazy setup.
And the tweet says, someone is completely kitted out at the Market Street Whole Foods. This went supersonic on Twitter, as it should, in my opinion. This is deeply inappropriate to me. Deeply upsetting.
I mean,
Get an office.
it's kind of smart if you think about it, though.
No.
like for the
Yeah,
free
I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
No.
Yeah.
Do not do
Yes.
that. Do not do that. Wait, say
He's
more.
innovative. You get free Wi-Fi,
Uh-huh.
access to hot food bar, or like literally anything you want.
Uh-huh.
And also, it's not going to be super crowded because it's not a coffee shop or somewhere that they would expect someone to go.
Okay.
Several points. Yeah.
Several.
I also think like when you're in public, so many people live in like this mind prison of everyone's going to be mad at me if I do this. And it's like, you should do whatever you want until people ask you to stop. The key to that is when they ask you to stop, you should actually consider what they're saying, and you should really take into
Yes.
account that you have negative impact on other people. But until someone says anything, go off, sweetie. Like, do whatever you want.
Okay. I have such a high like awareness bar. Like I just feel so often I'm caring emotionally for the people in the room that it's very, very
Never
hard.
care about others.
Okay, I was at Cafe Colette a few days ago with Ava. We were there together. Okay, having a great meal. It's late. It's late night at Cafe Colette. The vibes are so good. We're having like a little drink, a little burger, whatever. We look down the bar and there is a woman on a Zoom call. That's not okay. This is
Wait,
not
could you
the
hear
vibes.
her? Could you hear her speaking?
It was bizarre. And she was showing him. Okay, the man on the Zoom call was shirtless. The woman was showing, they were on a virtual date. And I was just like, no, I'm so sorry. Not on my watch.
Do you know
Did you
what's
ask-
worse?
What?
There are bars. I saw this on
No.
Twitter. There are bars that are being set up for people who have AI companions.
No.
To have a safe space to talk to their AI
No.
girlfriends and boyfriends. I'm totally serious.
That is the loneliest epidemic, like in IRL, in your face.
Yes.
That's sad.
Yeah, like relocating yourself into a place with other people so that
Yes.
you can lock into your computer is a little wild.
It
Lock into
is.
your, well, but I mean, that's what everyone's doing at the coffee shops anyway. So I guess,
No, but like
Like, what
you're
am I
not trying to
saying?
hang out. You're not trying to hang out. That's a different lane. Okay, anyway,
Yeah, okay.
we need to go.
we
need
have
to,
not said a word about Versailles. So
Okay,
You did the ad read.
pivoting back. What are you doing at Versailles? You're working on a bunch of really fun things. Tell us about it.
Yes. So I change my job title every time I go on a podcast,
I love
which is
that.
hilarious.
Rebrand.
I've been calling myself a member of the technical staff because duh.
Okay.
But no, so my team leads our marketing programs at Versailles. So I joined Versailles about a year and a half ago. I built out our startups program, which we saw a lot of traction with. We have like over 50% of each YC batch building on Versailles,
Wow.
which is super cool. And we've been growing that. And I have a team under me that's like now continuing to build that out. I also have a team that runs our open source program. So Versailles is known for open source. We are the creators and maintainers of Next.js, which is an open source framework. We have our AI SDK. We're very big in the open source world. And so we want to also contribute to the open source ecosystem by giving back to the builders that are utilizing our tools and building really cool things. And then more recently, we've been running our V0 ambassador and V0 student program. So V0 is one of our products, which I was working on for a while doing growth and marketing. Basically what it does is it allows anybody to create or update websites and apps using plain English. So you can prompt it, I can use it even though I'm not genuinely technical, and just tell it what I want it to build, and it will start creating that for me using real code. So our ambassadors in that program are people who are active builders on the platform. They want to share what they're doing. We give them credits and some other early access benefits as a result of that. And then students is what it sounds like. We know the future builders are at college campuses, and so we want to give them free or discounted access to all the tools that we're building.
Cool. Such a fun job, and I feel like you're so well suited for it. And I love when I see people who are in just the right role for them. It's like really satisfying. So one of the things that you're doing is the Vercel Accelerator. I believe you've done 2 cohorts.
Yes.
Like hugely successful. The last group of teams, 40 teams, raised over $100 million since the program wrapped in July. Absolutely insane. I'd love to hear from you. Like, these are people who are really actively building, very early stage for the most part. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And they're using all these tools. They're thinking about AI. They're, in the trenches. And I'd love to hear, like, what are you seeing? Like, what are some trends? What is this current cohort building?
Yeah. So we started the accelerator because we saw that there were so many teams that were building really, really cool things and needed some extra support to kind of get to that next stage. And so we wanted to bring in really early pre-seed stage teams to build alongside Vercel engineers and Vercel leadership and kind of learn from the other partners that we work with on the accelerator as like the best of the best AI companies and tools. We did do 1 cohort last year, like you mentioned, and then we're running a second one right now, actually. And what's been really cool, I always use this example. Last year, one of the winners was this company called Belly AI. And they were building something I'm sure like nobody in this room has ever thought about before, where one of them used to work in like air transportation.
Okay.
And so one of the founders actually is building this company to basically use AI to streamline airport operations.
Oh, cool.
So what he told me is that most planes are actually flying like mostly empty or half empty. And so airlines are not utilizing all the space that's actually available to them on aircrafts from like a storage perspective.
Okay.
So this tool that they're building is helping airlines actually be able to use the planes to the full capacity to transport things. And
not
I thought
people.
like, well,
Objects.
people and things, but mostly things.
Okay.
And so I thought that was so interesting because I was like, I never would have thought about this.
Yeah.
And it's using AI for this like super specific, unique need that you probably wouldn't have known about unless you worked in that sector.
Yeah.
There was another one that was based in Latin America, and they were building AI agents on WhatsApp because that's the predominant messaging app that's used there, specifically for farmers and people who are working in the field to be able to more accurately and more easily take stock of like their animals or their crops or things like that. And it automatically updates it into the system because they saw that people weren't actually keeping track of things properly because it was really, manual. It was hard to do. So now this kind of like solves that problem, saves a lot of time. So we're seeing more and more companies like that are like hyper specific on a like in a specific area or like skill. And I think that's because, like we have all these big labs that are building out general purpose agents. So those are kind of becoming less and less relevant. Like smaller companies aren't doing that anymore, but there are a lot of people who have really unique knowledge on a specific thing and kind of know how they can build AI to help automate that.
That's awesome. So fun. Are you, so when does this cohort wrap?
This cohort wraps April 16th.
Okay.
So we're having our demo day in San Francisco on April 16th.
Okay.
Last year, our demo day had like a 700% wait list. It was like the hottest club in SF. That's,
my gosh.
That's what brings people together in SF. Yes,
to.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're super excited. Yeah. It's going to be April 16th, 3 to 5 p.m.
Cool. That's exciting.
So it sounds like some of the promising projects were coming from people who had like esoteric knowledge of an airline or like farming. Do you feel like the audiences that like these are not like AI people, right? Like, are you trying to attract like these new audiences, or is that just like something that happened?
I think it's something that happened. Like we do have obviously other projects that are building kind of things that are more specific to AI expertise. Like one of the other ones from last year was building agents that help you test your code. So there's like projects like that.
Right.
I think these people show up naturally because we have a lot of credits, right? And it's like we're not taking equity in the company. So it's a pretty low stakes situation for them to just like have time and resources to build when other people or other, programs, VCs or programs might not take a bet on them because they are providing equity. But it was really interesting because we got a really good response to a lot of the companies. Like they were able to raise so much after. So I think it opened up people's eyes to things in the AI ecosystem that they may not have thought about before.
Yeah. Wow. Really cool. Okay. So also want to get your take. I think that a few other categories here. You're thinking a lot about hiring. You're seeing a lot of these early teams hire. You're deep in the tools, the AI tools. I'm curious, what are some things that you're seeing both positive and negative as you're in, like, I think there's a big conversation right now around jobs, hiring. I think young people coming out of school and trying to get jobs. What is some advice? What are some things you're seeing?
I mean, my advice to everybody, I talk to a lot of new grads because I used to work in education before I was in tech at all. And so my advice has been like, utilize the tools, like use the new tools that are coming out every day, make yourself familiar with that. One, because it's like good to know and just have a knowledge about. Two, because it actually makes you more attractive on the job market, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All these companies, you see it all over the place. Like all these execs are having these conversations where it's like, the teams need to be AI native. Everybody needs to be using AI. And some people don't really know what that means, right? Like they're just trying to insert AI into like random stuff and it's not actually beneficial. What I told new grads is like, learn about the tools, try to use them to do things that you hate in your everyday life or that you hate in your current job or whatever. And then that's going to make you more productive. It's going to teach you about what's happening and how to use the tools. And then more companies are going to want to hire you. When we interview people at Vercel, if they get to the take home portion of our interview process, everybody's building with V0. You're expected to turn in a project that utilizes V0 and to understand it and to build with it because it is accessible for most people. And so we want people to really learn about the tools. When I interviewed at Vercel, I had to do a technical interview, which made me almost shit my pants. I called the hiring manager and I was like, guys, I am not an engineer. What are you doing? Like whatever. So I spent the whole weekend before prepping.
Crying.
Crying and prepping. Honestly, way too much because it was like not that deep. But I spent the whole weekend before learning about Next.js, building websites, using Cursor, using other tools that were really popular at that time. And trying to learn about it so that I could understand A, what I was talking about, B, what we were building, and then also just like learn more because that was a big part of why I joined the team in the first place. I wanted to learn a lot.
This falls nicely into the next question I want to talk to you about is the barrier to entry for creating and for building and for shipping is getting every single day lower and lower and easier and easier for all types of people. What do you think, if you had a crystal ball, that is going to produce in the world?
I mean, it can go very poorly or very well. And I will choose to be an optimist here. I'll give you an example from my day-to-day work. So I said I had to do the technical interview. I, was not an engineer by background. Now, myself and my whole team, we're all shipping PRs. We are contributing to code bases. We're contributing to updating websites and things like that because we have access to tools like V0. So it's actually kind of addicting once you start doing it. Like, I'm like, okay, I no longer need to beg an engineer to fix this piece of copy on the website for me. I can open V0, I can prompt it to make that change, importing the actual repo from GitHub, and then I can update it myself, submit the PR, and the engineer reviews it. So what that enables is the ability for people to do a lot more themselves, move faster, and not get blocked. I wrote this article a couple of weeks ago, like it was called Good People Don't Get Blocked. And the concept that I discussed was like, if you don't know how to do something, or if you are blocked by someone else on doing something, you should try to figure out alternative routes and be a really strong operator in doing that so that you can get to whatever the minimum viable, thing is that you need to move to that next step. And this has been a huge unlock for myself and my team with regards to not getting blocked. And it's not because, engineers are bad at their jobs. It's absolutely the opposite. It's not because we're getting rid of engineers. We're actually working in those same workflows where they're already existing and helping everybody on the team move faster and get more shipped more quickly.
Yeah, cool. Okay. You, I feel like, have a very specific POV around media and new media. You are a part of the A16Z New Media Fellowship. You're very deeply online, which I say complimentary. And I want to get your take on two things. One, Generally like slop and slop as spam. We just talked about the Michael
Yes.
Saylor commercial, AI Fruit Island we talked about last week.
Of course.
So we'll start there. What do you think about slop?
So I think about this a lot. The part of my job that I didn't mention at the beginning was I'm also now building out Vercel's new media arm. And so we're creating, like everybody and their mom owned media. So we're going to be doing more podcasts, more short form series. We've been doing one called VTV Cribs where we're touring startup offices and it's been fun. But we're doing a lot more of that. And so one of the things we think about a lot is like, what type of content is going to cut through all this noise, right? If the barrier to creating content is much lower because of all these AI tools, and there's a lot more quote unquote slop on the timeline, like what do we have to do to kind of stand out? And the perspective that my team and our CMO has is that you have to have a certain human element to it, right? If it's going to be for things like actual marketing and brand for like a big company, I think, AI Fruit Island, my husband's obsessed with it. It's all over his TikTok. It's on my TikTok now too, for some godforsaken reason. I think that's not meant to be super serious, right? Like it's meant to be entertaining. So I think there's a difference there, right? Like they're not selling you something. The other thing that I believe, not as, someone who works in this industry, but as just a human is like, I've seen a lot of theories online of like, what happens if everything turns into AI slop? And if everything turns into AI slop, then people will actually probably be looking at their phones less and touching grass more. And that's probably not good for humanity.
Okay.
So that's like a positive.
That's a positive.
On it.
I like that. Okay. We're getting off of our phones and screens and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
I saw a really good friend this past weekend who I haven't seen in a few months. And we were talking, she's super offline. She's a therapist, like truly doesn't touch the internet.
Jealous.
And I know, for real. And we were talking about a bunch of different things and she was like, you seem so happy. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I was like, yeah, I deleted all social media apps off my phone in January. I still use them on my desktop. I'm not like, I have to, I feel for this job.
Right.
But she was like, do you think that's maybe part of why you're feeling so connected and happy? And I was like, ooh, let's see. I was just like, hadn't really thought about it. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's really interesting. So anyway, I love that spin. I think that I'm not like, I don't want to be one of those people who demonizes the internet because I think it's wonderful, but I think there's a balance. And I think that that's like a really useful take. Okay. How do you think the like landscape of new media today, what is your read on it? What's your hottest take?
My hottest take, I think people are over engineering things. I tell this to people a lot. I feel like for my personal Twitter, the ones that I think about the most, like the posts that I think about the most, or I try the hardest on, or I spend like 30 minutes like trying to make this like meme in whatever app on my phone, and then I like push out, they perform terribly.
Totally.
The ones where I'm like flushing the toilet and I'm like, haha, like this is funny.
It came from the heart.
Yeah, from the hip. Like you shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Those do the best. And you're like, okay, like cool. So I think a lot of people are like really trying to over engineer the content that they're putting out into the world. They're like thinking too much about it. They're slowing things down when like in reality, if as long as it's not like scandalous or like horrible, if you ship it, the minimum viable version, it probably would end up doing just as good, if not better, than the version that you spend, weeks and weeks
over
on.
engineering it.
Yeah. And then you miss the moment, right? You have to be in the meta. So that's the other piece.
Okay. So your advice is ship it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just ship it.
I have been going, because of this new deleted off my phone, I've been going in and out of tweeting a lot. Like I'll be on my computer and I'll like send a few things out and then I'll stop for like literally a week or two and then I'll come back to it or whatever. And I'm finding the like algorithm of X just, it's so unpredictable. Yeah. And like genuinely like some tweets getting no views, like not a single person seeing it. And do you have any thought about like algorithmic engineering and like tips, I guess? What are your
people ask this a lot. I do think that I mean, I don't know. They've like open sourced it a bunch of times and I've tried to read through it or like had engineers on my team be like, explain this to me like I'm 5. And like it changes all the time. So I think it's hard to keep up. I do think posting consistently is a thing. So I also notice like when I decide to put away my phone and actually like try to go on a vacation or like not be on it, if I don't post for a long time, then the algo hates me when I get back. I think right now what's been interesting is on X specifically, it seems like they've been weighting like articles more like positively in the algorithm, and then videos and photos. So like those things or like tweets that have those things tend to do better for me. That's kind of just anecdotal, but it is something I've noticed. And I think we've seen Nikita talk about how like they're like pushing more for articles too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, I think like the synthesis of a lot of what you're saying, and tell me if this is wrong, is like the optimization part can just be done by AI. Like you shouldn't be crashing out about like how you're going to say something, because like you can do all the strategic stuff. You can offload that to AI, and then you just focus on create the substrate for you to just like be more expressive or like impulsive.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole conversation that took over the internet of like, if everybody's able to create and everybody's able to do all these things with AI, then what really matters? Like, and everybody was like, oh, taste is the moat, like whatever. And like that, it is kind of true, right? Like, cause now if the barrier to entry is so low, the only thing that's differentiating you from another person that's creating is the ideas that are in your head.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, love having you on. It's so fun. We have so many things we can talk about. Genuinely, all of the boys are so excited to be working with Vercel.
We're so excited.
We love you guys, and you just couldn't be more legitimate. So it's really nice to work with you. Thank you for coming on. I'm so happy you're back in New York.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
And we'll have to have you again soon.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're the best.
No problem.
I'll text you later about all the various things.
Yes.
We should legitimately like hang out.
I saw
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Just the two of us. Okay. You have another topic you want to talk to me about. I have another topic I want to talk to you about. I think we should start with your groundbreaking TypeScript innovation.
So this fits in well with the Vercel conversation, because it's all about like the barrier to creating a certain type of technology being lowered.
Okay.
So my friend Connor posted this take online, and he was basically like, having a personal website, having an interesting and cool personal website is meaningless now. Like it doesn't really do anything for you. And I think like a lot of what was going unsaid there was like, basically it used to be kind of interesting and cool to know how to play around with like HTML and CSS and whatever else and make a website. But now it's like, that's not a demonstration of skill, that's a prompt. Like now you can just prompt your way into an interesting website. And there was an example of this that happened recently, which is that this guy created like a TypeScript tool that basically made it so that objects on the screen, you could move them around and the text would like dance around it. So it would still be legible, but it would like automatically move.
Nice. Okay.
And it's like one of these things that's technically like potentially interesting, or like, you know, like it maybe was difficult to make, but the actual, it's kind of artistic. Like the actual impact of it to the user is like, okay, well now, like, what is this for? Like the text is moving around really quickly, but like, this isn't how I use websites.
You know what it's for? Us looking at it and sending it to each other and going, oh, that's cool.
No, literally.
That's
like yeah, exactly. But like this class of things of like, oh, it's so impressive that someone did this on a technical level has been like completely cast aside by the trivialization of it through AI. And so like, I think that Connor's statement, like, oh, having a personal website is
Connor an engineer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does like GigaBrain, like ZK stuff that I like could never understand.
For sure, no.
I always fight with him about privacy.
Okay.
But I think it's basically right, because to me, like I've always kind of felt like if you're really focused on presentation and aesthetics in like business or whatever, it's kind of a distraction from, it means you're like insecure about your value prop in a way.
Okay.
Like for me in professional culture, when you spend a really long time making a gorgeous deck, my first thought is like, so you're kind of saying to the person that you're pitching to with a deck, like, I think you're dumb enough to fall for these little like design tricks that I'm doing and like overvalue me because it looks cool. Like to me, everything should just be like a Word document. Okay. And it's kind of like, in a way, it's like insulting. Like if you show me a gorgeous deck, I'm not like, I would like to think that I'm not going to be distracted by that, and I'm going to evaluate the ideas. Same with a website. Like if you're like interesting and have a value proposition, then your website should just be like a Google Doc.
Okay.
And like not,
he said it, not me.
Not everyone gets that.
Boysclub.vip. We can pull it up if people want to look at it. But great. No, I agree with you. I was not agreeing with you until the very end.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're like not allowed to disagree because
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, but I do want to hear if you have like a defense of the design people.
Okay, this is what we have been known to make some very beautiful decks here at Boys Club. And I will say part of the reason for that is because part of what we're selling.
Yeah. Okay. This makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. Is that these companies don't know how to look and feel. And what we're saying is we got you. This is our website. I love our website. It's so stupid. It's so fun. And we get some crazy comments and some crazy notes. The other day, someone had like a woman's manifesto and I had left it up. I don't know if either of you, Kate or Miranda, saw this. And I had we have to clear the comments every day. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes we're just too busy.
Things get left up. Yeah.
And things get left up. And then I went and looked and I was like, oh my gosh, there's like some woman's manifesto, like about being a woman. And I was like, immediately delete. That's not for me or anybody here to weigh in on. Like, absolutely not. But anyway, yeah, I was like, but I love the comments and keep them coming. But anyway, yeah, what we're selling sometimes to partners or potential sponsors or whatever is like, we can help you look and feel a specific way. And sometimes that can be totally communicated in a Word doc. And sometimes we need a little sparkle around it.
Depends who your audience is, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think like the frustrating thing to me is when, and maybe in a way, I think what you're saying kind of justifies or is an argument for like the interesting website. But to me, it's like, I feel like I have been in so many situations where ultimately it's like me and maybe one other person pitching something to two other people. Yeah. And it's like, really, we could just talk about it. Like it seems like no one wants to have a conversation these days. Yeah. Like, do we really need to sit around making a deck? And I think this is like the perfect thing for AI to trivialize, right? Is like, just say, hey, make a deck. These are my points. And then it's like, it can just be on the screen, like whatever. But I do kind of think, in a way, like I think about the website thing as being like, okay, first there was this class of like net artists who their whole value was predicated on knowing programming languages and being able to break them. And that's like really cool. I'm always like fascinated by people who have a really economically high value skill and choose to make art with it instead of making money with it. Cause it's like, you could very easily go make money with that. And so it's like cool to me. You're really invested if you're using it to make art. Yeah. And it is kind of like strange to see that basically get like pushed to obsolescence. Like that is like no longer going to exist. But it's also exciting because it means that now there is some new surface area for like people to play with, and people will find like new things to experiment with. It's just not like there's a certain type of experimenting with code is no longer interesting, or like, it's not that it's not interesting. It's like no longer a demonstration of like acumen or skill. Yeah. I have sort of I feel this weird like schadenfreude with engineers because I have just spent the entirety of my career being told no by engineers and being told to make a ticket and like, or just like, that's going to take whatever, however long. Right. And being made to feel incredibly stupid along the way, which that's their prerogative. They have a technical skill and I do not. I'm a soft skills lady through and through. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they should be haters about it. Like, I think
for sure.
Controversial. I think people should be like nice to each other. like,
yeah.
Who can relate?
But like also you're kind of not so nice sometimes. So but you gotta kind of like take your own medicine if you're gonna say
it. Like, yeah, like nice sometimes there's
emergency.
Like oh yeah, people always make a distinction between kind and nice. I feel like I don't really understand it.
Also, I grew up in a household where there was not a worse thing you could say about someone than saying they were a sweet woman. Like my mom was like, bless her heart. But like if I would be like, oh, my friend, like she's so nice, my mom would be like, oh
yeah. Wait,
don't say that about her. That's so rude. And I was like,
wait, is the idea that it means that you have no other positive things to say?
It means that you're stupid. It means that you're stupid. If you're nice, you're stupid. That's honestly the house. Sweet and kind, everything.
But I mean, sometimes like I just want to say that someone is nice because they're nice. And it's not that I'm implying that they're not anything else. Like I kind of feel like there's a lot of assumptions baked into that.
Oh, for sure. We should have my mom on the pod sometime.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, I want to argue with your mom.
No, we never will. We never will. But we have. We should actually have all of the moms of Boys Club on sometime. A Mother's Day special. Everyone would be like, oh my God, I get it. Anyway, coming back to controversial take of people should be kind. I think that is true. I think it's underrated as a premise in the world. And I think specifically for people who are exceptionally smart, to be exceptionally smart and exceptionally kind is, I know, maybe 3 of them. You know?
Yeah. It's like a flex to be able to sort of like maybe this is not true, get away with being nice, because it means like, oh, I don't need to be like combative and I don't need to be like negotiating at all times because like I just have a value proposition and I don't need to like be opping everyone in order to assert my value.
Yes, totally.
Like, I'm confident enough that I can just like be nice and spread value to others.
I have it going on. It's like paying it forward.
Yeah, it's a huge flex. Like, a lot of the people who I know who are like extremely successful are just like
really kind.
Yeah, like I'm really nice because like what else would I do?
Totally.
I already made it.
So do you have a personal website coming back to the UI?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And so I've had it for like 2 or 3 years. And it's like the reason that I'm saying this is it's like to justify my own website because my website is like intentionally extremely boring. Yeah, pull it up. Oh my God. This is my dream.
Okay, wait. How can I find it?
Quasimat.com.
Okay, Kate's gonna pull it up for us.
But then click the link that says social because that's like the real meat of the website.
Okay. It's going to take a second.
But it's like literally just text and it has like almost no formatting. And I'm very like committed to that.
You're really proud of it.
Yeah. Like
you've had it for 2 years this way?
Like through 2 or 3, ever since it's existed, it's looked like this. Like I have an affinity for like academic websites where it's just like, hey, like I don't need to show you any sort of like cool designed thing because I'm literally just an original thinker who does research and comes up with stuff. Like I don't need to impress you with anything.
Yes.
Here are some links to my research. Like I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. It's like it's very academic. It's very like a CV of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Kate, do we have it here? Okay, we need a second. Yeah, I don't have a personal website. I actually have like, okay. Oh, perfect. This is a perfect website. There's not a links? Is just like a single note, not a single note, nothing here. And it tells so much. Look at that. Two beautiful minds right here. Look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, literally.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Hire us, I guess. Because
no, exactly.
Look at this work.
But this is such a like, all I'm doing is just justifying us. Like this is very much like which came first, like me or the narrative. Like, do I have values or am I propping myself up?
Yes.
I guess we'll never know.
Okay, great. I love that. Okay, let's move to my next topic here. So thank you for shouting out our website. It genuinely made me happy. Okay. I have a screenshot, Kate, that I had put into the chat that I believe you might be pulling up here. It's from Claude. It's a Claude screenshot. So Anthropic Codebase Leak ? Is the title of this segment here.
Okay.
And basically what we have learned, this is a developing story. This happened yesterday.
Yeah, I was trying to read about it and it was all gated. Like I was going on Bloomberg and it said pay. And then I went on Wall Street Journal and said pay. It's so breaking that it's not even available. It's
not yet available. So basically, it turns out that maybe Anthropic has worse OPSAC than Boys Club, which is saying, or not as bad, but it's up there. And that's saying
we shouldn't even have to make that comparison.
The bar's in hell. Also, like the OPSEC of Boys Club. I don't even want to say it on this live stream because it's horrible. Okay. So I reached out to Claude this morning and I asked it about itself. And I was like, was there an Anthropic Codebase leak? Its response, yes. And it's a big deal. And then it proceeded to tell me what happened yesterday, March 31st. Here's a full breakdown. So I'm just going to tell you so you don't have to do the research.
Yeah, thank you. Because everyone else was trying to sell me the info and you're just giving it. That's very
for free.
Generous.
I give it away for free here on Boys Club. Okay. So basically what happened is that there was an internal file that's used for debugging that was accidentally bundled into a routine update for Claude Code. Okay. Are you tracking with me so far? And pushed to a public NPS registry that's for developers. And basically that repository, you can download and upload software packages from Claude. What was in that was in that file was nearly 2,000 files and over 500,000 lines of code that are not open source code. That is from Claude. or from Anthropic. So that goes up. This file accidentally is pushed, and within hours, the code base is being mirrored on GitHub over 41,000 times already. It's been forked. Yeah, people are forking it. People are in there working,
high
doing
value
the work.
information.
High value information.
People want it.
Exactly. So the GitHub repository forked over 41,000 times already since last night. Not too good. Not too great, you know?
Well, like what is in the files? Like it's saying how to, like basically how Claude works. It's the code that undergirds like Claude code.
That's my understanding of it. Yeah.
Okay.
A portion of that.
So like DeepSeek is going to take this and like could just like trivially recreate it now.
I believe, yes, that's one version of what could happen. Anthropic's response was no sensitive customer data or credentials were involved or exposed. This was a release packaging issues caused by human error, not a security breach. We're rolling out measures to prevent this from happening again. So a big so basically this happened, and the way that it was like initially discovered was a developer like tweeting about it and finding it and being like, holy shit, like whoa.
Hey guys, take a look.
Yeah. Here, like and subscribe. And then basically, obviously, then it kind of like took off like wildfire on the timeline. And it's not, and then the note, I guess, like the cultural discourse around it was like, this is what happens when you have Claude Code ship your stuff. And basically Anthropic was like, no, this is something we did manually. This is human error. This wasn't us, which is just kind of a funny back and forth between Anthropic and like, I don't know, vibe coders, or I guess probably not vibe coders, like engineers who are upset about the idea of like vibe coding as a premise.
Yeah.
Are you tracking?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of it is, it seems like they're sort of constructing what I see to be a kind of false dichotomy between like a security issue and like a person issue.
Exactly.
Because like it is all the same thing. Like if you don't have safeguards where people can't release stuff like that, then that is a security issue. But like, I guess what you're saying is people are trying to criticize the product, assuming that they're using their own product in order to distribute the code. And maybe that's not fair.
Right.
Like it is about how you use, like, it doesn't mean that the product is like unable to figure out whether information should be private or not. Because my personal experience with that stuff is like, if I put like one time I accidentally put some like sensitive, like a key, like an API key in there. And it was like, stop now, like go change this. Like you should not have put that in here. So I'm like, okay, yeah, they kind of ate that. Like, I feel like that was good.
Yeah, totally. Okay. The other, so that's kind of what's happening. It's developing on the timeline. I think people are obviously weighing in on both sides, and curious what's going to happen with all of these forks. I imagine probably nothing, but maybe some interesting stuff like DeepSeek or something like that is going to be able to utilize all of these lines of code in some capacity.
Yeah. That's great for us though, because it just means that all the AI companies have more info, so they'll just make better products.
I love that. I love that.
I'm not like a fan of like, I just want them all to make it easy and cheap for me to use.
Exactly.
So I'm glad. Leak more data.
Leak it.
I love it.
Okay. Another thing related in the Claude code of it all, there's a tweet here, Kate, that I will text to you to post. So basically it has come to the attention of the timeline that when you curse at Claude, they are...
I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. You definitely should be. It is registering that. It's saving that. You're getting flagged into a certain specific type of group. Claude Code has a regress that detects what the fuck, piece of shit, fuck you, this sucks, etc. And it doesn't change behavior. It just silently logs it as is_negative. So true to the analytics. Then there's like is it up, Kate? Okay. So basically then there's like a little chart here on this tweet around how this is like happening, I guess, in the database. And then the quote tweet is, it's official. The rapture isn't going to be some divine biblical event. It's just going to be an agent shifts into a hunter-seeker drone reading a markdown file called naughty_or_nice_ flying around the cities of the world. What's your take on that?
Well, I hope this isn't true because I have like crashed out a couple times when Claude is just like
no,
not
you weren't
understanding.
nice. You weren't nice.
Well, but I will say I also like part of my AI psychosis is like I think everyone does this, like you do like kind of almost everyone, I shouldn't say everyone does this. You like personify it. Like I react to it basically as if it's a person. Like I am like to some extent like emoting like in like a giving feedback way, just because it's natural for me to speak that way, right? Like if I say this is bad, I'm gonna like say it as if I'm mad because I am. So I'm probably not in a great place if this is
You're
true.
on the naughty list.
Yeah. I kind of
I don't feel like you have a lot of profanity in the way that you speak.
yeah. I guess I have two. I was saying, okay, we should be nice to people, but maybe sometimes I'm not nice to AI. I think I try to be honest to AI, emotionally honest. I think it's really important to have a really emotionally vulnerable relationship with technology. Wait, what was your question?
I can't remember, but I think that do you say thank you?
To AI?
Yes. You say please. Okay, Kate says she says please, but
I
not
feel
thank
like I basically, for the most part, talk to AI the same way I would talk to a person, but I'm a little more direct. So like sometimes it's just natural, like for me to just say please and thank you. So I just do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So I feel like I'm like nice and mean. Like I'm definitely way more willing to be mean to AI than I am to be mean to a person. That's like not something I would ever engage in or do.
Yeah.
But like I'm also nice. So
okay, I see.
Yeah.
I think for me, my like POV on all of this is one, I have really bad language. I've lived in New York 14 years. Like I don't even hear it anymore. When I go home to visit my parents, I'm like mute because I'm like, don't curse.
Speak. Yeah.
And I don't actually know how to speak without cursing at this point. It's a bad quality, I think, overall. I've come to peace with it. It's not my biggest problem. It's just not my biggest problem.
Yeah. I think it's fine. I think like people express themselves in different ways.
Thank you. Exactly. Kate does not feel that way. She's constantly saying, please stop saying fuck. Okay, totally.
I feel like in this context, it like matters a little more. But if you're just like
going about my
drinks, then
cool. She's so cool.
Be a sailor. Yeah.
I'm a sailor. Anyway, I don't ever type it to my Claude prompts.
Oh, so you're good.
Totally.
See, and this is the targeting is wrong because
I type, and what I'm more afraid of is that they have a file that's like an idiot file. And I am in that file.
Oh, yeah.
For
I mean, I think
sure.
The point of using AI is that you're allowed to be an idiot to it. That's exactly like the point, though, because you can't be an idiot to a person. So you have to take your idiotic.
The amount of spelling errors, like I would be on a leaderboard. Like, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just going, why would I correct my spelling for this bot who knows exactly what I'm trying to ask it?
Yeah.
Accidentally has never been spelled correctly in my back and forth with Claude.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm less concerned about being in the naughty bucket. I am concerned of like, if we're just if they're looking at everybody who's prompting them on a daily basis and bucketing them into people who they're like permanent underclass for sure.
Yeah.
That's going to unfortunately be me because of how stupid it thinks I am. I know I'm not stupid, but what I am talking about with them is very
the impression,
stupid.
Right?
Bad.
Yeah. I think that like my general take on this is I like the idea of collecting sentimental information about people because it's kind of like Claude is equipped to give you a social credit score in a certain type of way, which is very Chinese, very modern, very surveillance state, which love all of those things. And I would say that like part of the issue that I have with it is that maybe it's not going far enough because like we're a great example. Like I was saying, like sometimes I do crash out at AI, but in real life, I'm like one of the nicest. A lot of people are always telling me I'm one of the nicest people they've ever met. And for you, it's like you swear a lot and you're, just like just not nice in the same way that
thinks I'm nice. Totally.
Yeah. And so it's not getting an accurate picture of who
exactly
we are. And so it might put me on the bad list when really I should be on the good list. And then vice versa for you. So I would say my solution is like, well, collect more info, like get a more comprehensive picture of who we are.
Yeah. Without my consent. Just be recording me.
Well, I think using the product is my consent. Like
I see.
Take my data.
Okay. You're
open source it.
Open source your data.
My thing
is
like
your data.
Yeah. No, my thing is like I have zero problem with like tech companies taking my info, but I think that they should be forced to show it to everyone. Because my thing is like I don't want one entity to profit from that information. I want everyone to get as much information as possible.
Really great take. I really like that actually. Okay. I do think when I'm also just one last note, and then we do need to move on to the last story here. I do think there's something to me about when I'm thinking about this. and this is so deeply like religious coded, like clearly like raised religious.
Okay.
When I'm thinking about the naughty and nice list, I'm like, oh, who is the AI? Who is Anthropic? Who is Sam Altman sending to hell or heaven? Like that's how I'm thinking about it. It's like really religious coded. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. End times is actually just going to be these AI companies based on our chat history sending us up or down.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I feel like I don't make that jump. Like I'm very much like information is just like interesting. Like just take some info and think about it.
I don't feel like you put any you don't have like this moral umbrella that comes over things. I think it's a positive thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that maybe is like, somewhat true. But yeah, I think that like, I'm interested in the reductionism of that classification. Like I want to know, like, I want like them to make a product where it's just like something that I can share on Twitter that gives me like a social credit score. And then it concludes whether I'm going to heaven or hell if like Anthropic gets to decide. Like, I think that's fun. They should play with that.
They should. Okay, cool. Product idea for anybody listening from Anthropic.
Yeah. Super novel.
Yeah, totally. Oh, it is like a danger testing product who we're going to have on, I think, next week. Okay. That's basically our show here. A lot of just you and me chatting, and I had a great time. I hope that people enjoyed themselves. Great guests. We love Sam. We love Allie. They're both wonderful. We also love all of our partners that make this show possible. Vercel, Octant, Anchorage Digital, Polygon, Heart hands always. And we're going to close out with a commercial from Kate. Well, from Kate and the minds here at Boys Club, and for Anchorage Digital, who has been a wonderful partner this quarter. And then we're gonna just go straight out. It's just gonna kind of play us out.
Okay. So music, perhaps.
Kate talking. Thanks for being here. Thank you for hosting with me.
Yeah.
See this? This is your cap table. You made it in Google Sheets at midnight. It's got 47 tabs, 3 conflicting versions, and you're emailing investors one by one, asking for wallet addresses manually in 2026. Why are you working twice as hard? Anchorage Digital. Anchorage Digital's full stack token management solution. One dashboard, allocations, vesting schedules, cliffs, lockups. It automates stakeholder collection, so you never send another just following up email again. Post-launch, your tokens are held safely at Anchorage Digital, home to Anchorage Digital Bank, the first federally chartered crypto bank in the US. And they're not just sitting there. You can trade, distribute, stake, and earn rewards without your tokens ever leaving custody via Anchorage Digital's fully integrated offerings. And your investors can easily access them through their own portal. If time is money, then make sure you use Anchorage Digital to get hours back. You following me, camera guy? You're not gonna need this anymore. Go to Anchorage.com or call 1-800-ANCHOR. Don't really call.